Terry, what is that?
What is that?
That, my friend, is rugby league.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by the good people at Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe everywhere you can. Teamless Tuesday, Dan.
This is a great day.
The greatest
great
day.
Week.
The greatest day of February so far.
Just having a chat with some good friends of the show, just saying I feel complete.
Rugby League is back.
It's back.
It's officially back.
I had someone sneak into my DMs early and say, trials don't count. How dare you?
Yes.
They count. Any rugby league is good rugby league.
Mm-hmm. Except the Super League.
Well, yeah, of course. Well, that's not really that good.
But what isn't good? We're getting some new rules.
Again.
And you and I have already found a loophole for these new rules. So you talk about the rules, and I'll tell you a loophole.
So, Graham Annesley, who will, in a minute, let's park that for a second, has come out and announced that they're going to crack down on some things, the 10 metres, which, how many penalties and set restarts we had last year, and diving, which has gone out 6 or 7 years. The most interesting new rule change now is that players can be sin bin retroactively. Say I hit you high, Terry, you go down, I'm on report. You go off, you fail your HIA, I'm off for 10.
15 minutes later.
Well, it could be up to 15 minutes later, yes. It's a Cat 1.
Yeah.
Or a Category 2 that leads to a failed HIA, which of course, there's no loopholes in that at all.
No, so 5 minutes to go in a close game, or 10 minutes to go in a close game, whatever it is, you get a love tap from Nathan Cleary. Oh, it was Nathan Cleary that hit me in the head, isn't it? Go backstage. They say to you, what day is it? Plato.
You failed your HIA, he's got to go.
HIA. Nathan Cleary's off for 10 minutes. Your team goes down, runs right over Penrith. Cleary comes back. Too much damage done.
Every time I think the NRL has reached the bottom of the barrel of dumb headery, for the purposes of this podcast, they pull out another one. This is utterly ridiculous. Now, you and I said last year that we hate when players are obviously concussed and ruled out. And I'm talking...
Or stay on the field.
One.
Yeah.
Gone. And players, they're gone for the game and the player comes back in 10. This doesn't even... it doesn't even fix that. I don't know why they've done this, because it's so simple to... If you got, say, right on halftime, like you said, similar sort of thing, you go down and let's face it, it's pretty easy to fail HIA. Just be a football player. Most of them fail HIA totally conscious. I can think of 5 or 6 things wrong with this. I don't want to go into it because I'm going to get angry, but this is dumb. Yeah,
I don't mind it for the Cat 1 where you see like the swinging arms and they only put the player on report and then they take them off and they're ruled out with the Cat 1. That usually happens within a couple of minutes though.
Yeah.
The video doctor.
Bunker,
yeah, the medical
independent doctor.
That's it. That's the words I'm looking for. The independent doctor will usually rule a Cat 1 within 3 minutes. That can easily be relayed back to the referee and say, hey, it's Cat 1, old mate's got to go for 10. You don't hate that. What you hate is the guy who gets hit in the head and then the trainer comes on and asks him a question and, oh yeah, we better do it because it was Nathan Cleary that hit you in the head. And then you got to wait the 15 minutes to fail the HIA and then you're binning the bloke.
Yeah, now I'm not going to, devil's advocate, players won't take advantage of this. And coaches definitely won't take advantage of this. Let's say the rule is applied perfectly as it's written. You and I catch you with a shoulder, accidental, and you fall weird and you hit your head and you failed out. Or I come in and absolutely clothesline you and you get Cat 1, they both sin bins. How's that
I'd like
fair?
to see you try to do either.
Well, let's after the show, stay tuned for behind the scenes. But this opens up the accident.
Yeah.
So they're saying that every HIA now has to lead to a sin bin. Remember when you're kids and you're playing soccer in the schoolyard and if someone gets hurt, it's obviously a free kick? This is that. But in the supposed professional leagues.
What happens if you're getting swung to the ground in just a normal tackle and my knee comes out and you hit your head on my knee? Is that...
Oh, well, you got to go. Even if you're on the same team. This is utterly ridiculous. It's reactionary BS. And you know who's ahead of it?
Well, actually, the only rule that changed that I do like that they're coming out with is the play the ball inside the 10 metres when you're on the attack, and if you're not going at it with your feet, because so many times players get up and just roll it between their legs so quickly to get a quick play of the ball. That's the one that I want penalised. But who is at the head of these?
But it's supposed to be penalised. Just haven't cracked down. It's another crackdown in the last 6 weeks. Graham Annesley.
Right.
Everybody, including my favourite, whatever he does this week.
No one knows.
Last year, Terry, we were promised by Abdo and the other dude and PVL and whoever that there would be a complete review of the football operations. I didn't hear anything about this.
He survived.
Well, if they did review it, they obviously didn't do a good enough job, because anybody, Blind Freddie could have seen that Graham Annesley's a problem and flicked him, and he's out there today making it all about himself. One, that's my gimmick, Graham, stop it. And two, you and I could do a better job. And I say that completely sincerely. This is another year of Graham Annesley bringing everything down. I'm
okay with whoever they want to put at the head of the operation, because at the end of the day, you're going to complain about something, right? This isn't at you, this isn't at me, this is at everybody. You're going to find fault. If your team loses, you're going to find fault to blame someone, right? Unless you lose 40-0, Tigers. But when you kind of lose like a game 14-10, you're going to point the finger at a blunder or the bunker or
Liam Kennedy.
Yeah, the referees, whatever.
Casey Badger.
Whoever you're going to make the call out, right? I just don't want to see Graham Annesley on a Monday come out and defending a shit call.
Yeah.
Right? Either come out and go, yeah, that was blatantly wrong, or just shut up.
Yeah, don't say anything.
Don't say anything about it. If you're not going to put the referees who we want to hear from at the end of the game to ask them, 5 minutes from one journo into the room, what about this call? What about this call? How did you come up with this call? Have a look at the replay over here. If you're not going to do that, Graham, we don't want to hear from you.
Can you imagine getting Casey Badger in a room after a game, a normal game, and spending 3 hours with her because you'd need it? We're going to pay these journos triple time.
Yeah.
Like, it's just...
Yeah.
I'm
so that's if you
openly not a fan of Graham Annesley.
If you're not asking the people who made the decision why they made the decision, then I don't want to hear from the fluff piece.
What was the football review? What was the outcome? Oh, we should suspend, or we should bin players 15 minutes after it happened. Imagine, to go back to this, you are a forward, you've done your thing, you go off. Well, you've got to come back on to get sin binned. I cannot believe we're doing this again. The game hasn't even kicked off yet. We're banging our heads, which is a concussion, a fouled HA, which means someone has to go to the sin bin.
You've got to go for 10. Can I ask you a question, Dan?
Yes.
What is more ridiculous in the last 48 hours? These rule changes or the Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis trade?
The rules.
Now, Dan, we got the trials coming on. Now, obviously, the game that you and I are fully focusing on is Sharks versus the Warriors. Yep. Sharks have named a couple of regular players. A couple of players that I didn't think would be named in there. Warriors, though, they've gone full strength. I think they want to win this preseason challenge. Yeah,
possibly. It's actually a very good point. Like, does anyone care about that? Those that haven't seen the team, it's pretty close to full strength. It's got one or two players you could argue aren't there and could be, but that's a strong 13. Yeah, they'll probably only play 40 minutes, but if they score 4 or 5 tries, they're halfway to the maximum points against the Sharks, who have named the Jets plus 3 or 4 starters.
Yeah, I didn't think Sione Katoa would feature. I thought
Kafusi?
Yeah, Kafusi's one. Will Kennedy's another I didn't think would be in there. I'm very surprised Kaoliro
me too.
is in there. I'm glad that Braden Hamlin-Uele is starting this game. Tom Hazleton, big bald Tom. I didn't think he was going to be in this game. So
it's a good chance. Trials are made to press your claim, because obviously those two probably aren't going to start with Fanua Blake and Kafusi, and Toby probably the top 3. So they get a chance to prove themselves.
Yep.
And look, I had a chat with a good mate of the show, Sam Sanazi, saying, the risk versus reward, you can always get injured playing games. You can get injured in the shower or running the Corso.
Yep.
If you're Tommy Turbo or falling over your kid.
You can get injured at training.
Yeah, so I'm not really looking at that. But the Warriors they've got James Fisher-Harris. Now, I could understand if this is a home game, unveiling.
Barnett.
Yeah, I think Cronulla would have been tempted to put Fanua Blake in front of his home fans, but smarter heads prevail. We don't need to play him. He knows how to play football. It's about the young kids. But yeah, what do you think any team goes into this and thinks, we should try and win this $100,000? One, because people say trials don't matter.
Obviously, the Warriors, it does.
No one wants to lose trials.
No. I also think that the Warriors are probably using this for combinations, because if I have a look at their centres, fullback, wingers, whoever they're doing it, like they've named Roger Tuivasa-Sheck on the wing. I think this is a great chance for him to get 40 minutes under his belt, just playing anywhere. Yeah. He's on the right wing, go and play left centre for a little bit, go and pop up in the middle on a support play run, whatever. This is a great chance for James Fisher-Harris to set the standards for what he expects for that team for the remainder of the year. This is Mitch Barnett to come around and say, well, you know, the form that I had last year, I'm still in it. I'm your man. You know, James, you go 1, I go 2. Yeah. And I think that, you know, like the Warriors are a team going to Vegas.
Yep.
So I think that they're going to use this as we're playing 2 full-strength games and then we're going to Vegas ready. Whereas Cronulla are like, we'll play 6 or 7, we'll incorporate you guys into it, then we go to Vegas.
Yeah, I like it from both teams. I can see the point. And I'm not unhappy with the Cronulla team at all, which we'll discuss later. But if I'm a Warrior, I'm probably thinking, oh, good, let's see the new guys in, let's build the combos. A few players come back from injury, like Metcalf, Mary Martin.
I like Metcalf at halfback.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to the game, and this will be probably the highest rated trial because people are so starved.
The more that kid gets his hands on the ball, the better. Luke Metcalf at 7, delicious.
Genius. So this is a bit of a fun one. Mm-hmm. The Bulldogs, led by, of course, Gus Gould, who's a forward thinker, a big fan of the show too, by all accounts. He's come out and said, we need players' names on jerseys. Mm-hmm. Sure. Mm-hmm. I'm neither here nor there. I don't particularly care. I've seen numbers allocated as they are in the Super League. We saw it in the World Cup. Got a bit ridiculous, but who cares? It's only what we're used to. The NRL come out and said, unless everyone agrees to it, we're not going to do it. And, you know, the old fuddy-duddies like it's probably the Dragons, have said, no, we don't want to do that because we don't want DeBellin on the back of a jersey. That's completely made up by the way. What do you reckon? Names on jerseys?
Look, I go back to the 1999 grand final where Melbourne had it and St George didn't. And Melbourne's jerseys looked really cool, right?
Yeah.
But leading up to that grand final, there was the winger who got clotheslined by Jamie Ainscote, and his name was Craig Smith.
Yep.
And his name still is Craig Smith, right?
Yeah,
by the way, but his name's Craig Smith.
He probably forgot.
But he wasn't always the number 2.
Yep.
So they were in and out of who was number 2 and whatever, right? So one week in the number 2 you had Craig Smith, and then another week you had what was his name? Carlaw. Not Dane Carlaw. He was the big centre. It was John Carlaw.
Yep.
So he was the other winger. Some weeks you have Matt Geyer, but Matt Geyer was named at 5'8" in the grand final. So unless you're actually allocating the numbers, right? Yep. And then say a guy like Liam Eisen who gets number 26, but halfway through the year he takes Will Kennedy's jersey, you're going to name number 26 as your fullback.
Yep.
So it's probably a no from me.
Yeah, see, I have no problem with this in that, you know, okay, it's a cool idea. I know some of the soccer teams, they used to do it.
All soccer teams do it.
Yeah, so I like that. And
all soccer teams do it because you get your number. Your marquee player gets number. The NBA does it. The NBL does it because that's your number.
That's fair. The big argument I saw is that kids will want to get names on the back.
Yep.
You can do that anyways.
Yep.
And, I mean, Matt Burton's the one because he's, you know, probably the biggest star they've got. Mm-hmm. You know, huge star or Crichton. Getting 6 and Burton across your back.
That's cool.
A lot of kids are going to do that anyway, so I don't think it matters. I don't dislike it. And for me, if the Dogs want to wear names, why not?
I don't dislike it from a merchandise point of view. If they want to turn around and go, hey, look, you can get any player's jersey and any name that you want. Like if you want to get number 30 and Burton on the back, that's your prerogative. Just don't think it's going to go well on the field.
Yeah, fair enough.
Whatever.
Nichols number 1.
Yeah. Dan,
talking Terry.
Let's pick the top 4. We're going to have to leave a team out though.
Completely fair. We'll
because we will do a whole segment on our.
I think you might be able to guess who.
On the beloved Gold Coast Titans.
Penrith. Yeah, Penrith. Yeah. Sharks.
In 4th spot.
Controversial.
Now these guys had an absolute catastrophe in 2024 after losing the unlosable grand final in 2023.
That's good.
We're banking on the Madge Maguire bounce back, the Reece Walsh bounce back, the Payne Haas bounce back,
Ben Hunt
into the team at 9. He's even come out and said, hey, when Ezra Mam's allowed back, which he shouldn't be, I'm going to move straight into the 9 jersey, which Billy Walters then said I'll move to the 14, which Blake Moser said, oh yes, I'm playing Q-Cup.
Yeah. And Madge Maguire said, like hell you are.
Yeah. What made you think that these guys could go from 12th to 4th?
They got a good coach.
They got a good coach.
And with the greatest respect to the great Walters himself, not the guy. Not the guy. Madge Maguire has just... He's got runs on the board. Not even he could get the Tigers turned around, nor could Cleary. It's impossible. So do not look at that. They complain he trained too hard. The fact that there were rumours that Reece Walsh was going on about training too hard in the preseason is exactly what that kid needs.
Yep.
Whether it happened or not, doesn't matter. That's his attitude is going to lift that team big time.
Yeah, Michael Maguire is going to come in and quite quickly, like you heard at the beginning when, you know, November 1 came and players could talk and Selwyn Cobbo was fielding calls here and there and everywhere. Michael Maguire's first instinct was to say, I want to re-sign Kotoni Staggs.
Yep.
Because that's the guy with the... Kotoni Staggs might have the inconsistency, but he's definitely got the attitude of he wants to be the best footballer on the park.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
And when he's on, mate, he's on.
He's great,
And so that's why, you know, Maguire has then turned around and said to these guys here, hey, either jump on or jump off.
Train with your shirts on.
Yeah.
Get the sponsors out there. Bring in the professionalism.
Yeah, and now there's the, yes, we want to keep Selwyn Cobbo, because obviously Selwyn Cobbo has pulled his head in.
Yeah, and
got into line and realised that this guy is a great coach and is going to lift the club.
Yeah.
I think fourth we might have jumped the gun a little bit, but I just, on paper, that squad's stacked. If he can get it turned around, they're a definite premiership threat.
Their forwards are great. The only problem I have really is the back row. Ricky and Picura, they're okay. But you're talking Carrigan, he's a genius.
Although Ricky has monstered teams.
Yeah, he's had good games, hugely inconsistent.
Yeah.
Their bench is probably a little bit under the three teams we'll talk about soon.
Yeah.
But Ben Hunt moving in fixes their major weaknesses, which is their number 9. They got one of the best.
Ricky reminds me of Dane Carlaw.
Yeah.
When he was on, and when he was off, he didn't know he played. Yeah.
It's a pretty interesting team. It's an exciting team, and I think it's one that's going to... Maybe not fourth. I'm happy enough.
I'm happy with fourth.
I think anywhere between fourth and eighth. They'll play finals football. Yeah. A lot rests on Adam Reynolds again, but if he gets injured, Ben Hunt just slots in at 7. So they've solved a lot of issues, and I think they've done well. And I think you'll see the best of those up and down players.
Yeah. The last thing on the Broncos as well is Ben Hunt has moved home to say that he wants to win a premiership. That's the only thing missing from his resume. It's now or never for him. This is the year.
Completely true.
We're going to skip third. Mm-hmm. We're going to go straight to second.
Ooh, controversial.
Second place. Again.
Yep.
For the second year in a row.
Yep.
You and I are picking the Penrith Panthers.
This is the year. The fall from grace, surely. Even though we said it last year, the year before, and the year before, this is definitely the year.
I don't think the fall from grace is going to be that much. I think it's going to come down to around 27 again as to who's going to win the minor premiership, as it has the last couple of years for Penrith.
Probably.
The thing is, they lose Jerome Luai and everyone's like losing their mind on it. They lose Sania Taruva and everyone's like, oh, what are you going to do about it? The McLean brothers.
Yeah.
Right? Those guys are studs. They've brought in Blaze Talungi. They've got Dane Laurie. They've got Cole. Is it Jack Cole?
Yep.
They got in there as well.
They brought Papali'i in to replace Fisher Harris.
Yeah, so the whole thing is that, like, whilst the names that Penrith have got Penrith have lost, but over the years they've lost Crichton, they've lost Coruscant, they've lost Kickout, they haven't missed a beat. That production line of talent they have is incredible. They don't go out and recruit all that often. When they do, they don't miss.
Yeah, got two superstar recruits this time.
I think Blaze Talungi starting the year at 6 is nice.
Absolutely.
Whether or not he lasts there is another question. But
options.
Yeah. And I mean, he's going to learn off Nathan Cleary. And when Nathan Cleary gets into a mood, it's just a case of, here, Nath.
Yeah.
Whoa, look at me.
Get the ball to the dude with the 7 on his back.
Yeah, get the ball to the best player in the world.
This is an insane team. And it's all the system. I am a little bit worried about Fisher Harris was the heart and soul of the club, although last year we said it was Stephen Crichton. So I'm not really that worried. The production...
I don't think he's the heart and soul of the club. I think he's the heart and soul of the forward pack.
Yeah, they roll on.
You're going to see how good Moses Leota is this year.
That's true, because he took a lot of hit-ups off the back of Fisher Harris. This is all good prop rotations do. I think they got the coach, they got the halfback. The two most important things... Obviously, Dylan Edwards is a superstar. You know, the McLean brothers, or one of them will get on the wing. The other one will score 1 million tries for New South Wales Cup, and he'll replace when needed. You know, when Toto plays Origin. You know, Paul Alamotti's become a superstar. I'm not worried at all about...
Isaac Tungo on his day can be the best centre in the game.
I'm not worried about that team at all. There's been a lot of people that are saying, oh, maybe they'll drop down to 4th. I can't see any way they don't make another prelim.
No. I don't see any way they don't make another grand final. Yeah. First place, minor premiers.
Number 1.
I don't have them in the grand final this year, though.
Ooh.
I do have them first.
Yep.
I don't have them in the grand final.
Okay, fair enough.
The Melbourne Storm.
The mighty purple of the Storm.
They brought in Stefano Uduikamanu.
Yeah, and we all know how that goes.
Yep. So Craig Bellamy has again got another, player off the scrap heap, even though he's an Origin player.
Yep.
It's going to be a great player for them. I feel that though it's going to be a very similar situation to this year. They're going to roll on through the year. When it gets to finals, though, I think Penrith laid out the blueprint of the finals. It's physical. It's in your face.
Yep.
I think there's a team that's going to do it. I think there's a team that's going to beat them.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I love this Storm outfit. They got the best spine in the competition by probably a long
Second
way
best.
out. Who's better?
Penrith.
No chance.
Penrith.
I'm taking Harry Grant over the other.
I'm taking Nathan Cleary over every single person in there. They got the best fullback.
No, I'm taking Cam Munster as well.
Yeah, so it's 2-2, and Nathan Cleary's better than all of them.
No.
Yep.
No. Melbourne have got the best, undisputedly the best spine. Their centres are a little bit of a drop off to the elites, but if you're picking, two very good centres as probably your weakness, there's probably no weakness there. There's probably some bloke who's been playing a bit of Queensland Cup that neither you or I have never heard of that's going to be playing Origin because he's in the Melbourne Storm setup. And in 8 weeks, we're like, hey, goes this guy? Where's he come from? And Bellamy just would have picked him off the street.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
I got them first.
They're going to win a lot of games. They're going to score a lot of points.
Who are your premiers this year?
Titans.
They didn't even make the 8.
Titans. Nah, look, Penrith again, probably.
I'm going 5, Pete. I'm going Penrith to beat a team that we are about to review.
All right, well,
Stay tuned.
I'll go the Storm just to be different, but no argument. But they'll win the minor premiership because it's what they do. Okay.
Talk to me, Dan.
Time to talk some black, white, and blue.
Here we are.
The first of the season, which we're going to wrap really nicely.
Go straight into it?
Yep.
These are my runners up this year.
Fair enough.
Yep.
If you'd offered me that, much like the mighty Sydney Thunder, I'm taking it. It's never fun to lose a final.
It's never fun to lose a grand final.
It's fun to make it.
We're going to taste it.
Yep. And then next year.
And then 2026 is.
So where do we finish in the early round?
I've got us as third.
Regular season.
I've got us as third. And third place is where the Sharks want to finish.
Yep.
That's where we won the comp.
Completely fair. You play Penrith.
Yeah, you play Penrith.
Lose.
Then
beat
we
whoever.
beat
the
whoever.
Bulldogs.
Beat Melbourne.
And then play
Lose to Penrith in the grand final again.
Look, that'd be a pretty bloody good season, to be totally honest.
Yep, that would be.
Why third, Terry? Why?
Look,
has there been an arrival? Or?
There has been an arrival of Adam Fanua-Blake. That is absolutely massive for everyone. I think this year, though, we saw a lot of development in players.
Yep.
We saw a lot of development in Blake Brayley.
Yep.
I think he was robbed of the 9 of the year. I'll straight up, I'll say it. I think he was robbed of the 9 of the year. We saw the huge leap that Braden Trindle took after he had some booger sugar and got suspended.
Yep.
So I like Braden Trindle honestly became one of my favourite players last year. We saw the impact that Britton Nickera can have.
Oh, yeah.
Teague Wilton is one player who needs to pull his finger out. I think Cam McInnes, although I'm not endeared to him, he's a great leader. He's a good person. I think he's going to really mentor Sam McCulloch.
Yep.
Can't go past Adam Fanua-Blake and what he delivers to the club. I think there's 2 players, though, that really, really need to step up this year. And that's our 1 and our 7. Now, Will Kennedy is going to start the year at fullback. Nico Hines is going to start. Well, whether Nico Hines starts at 6 or 7, he needs to stand up and deliver. We need 2022 or early rounds Nico Hines. Now, there's a couple. He can't play Origin this year.
No, he's got to withdraw.
Yeah, and if you open a newspaper and it says Laurie Daly's contemplating picking Nico Hines, Craig Fitzgibbon needs to turn and go, man, I'm ruling you out for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
you've just got a toe injury.
You've got an injury of some sort.
Yeah.
We don't want you getting
miraculous recovery the minute someone else is named.
Picked, yes. So bad. Well, Mitch Moses did it.
I think his papers have been stamped never to play again.
I don't think Nico will be in the reckoning, although we said that this year and 40 injuries later. Yeah, he's got to withdraw for his own good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sucks to say.
Retire from rep football.
Who cares?
You've got your $1 million. Retire from rep football. I think in terms of our squad, it's the same squad, so you're kind of getting into that Penrith territory, right? Where it's the same squad every year. you're not having much turnover of players, and when you do, you've got the good young players coming through. You've got your Liam Isons, you've got your Sam Stonestreets, Kaylee Rose now an established star in the team. We've got Hope Apuru. I really rate that pickup as well because he can play 9-13, bit of edge back row as well. Solidarity in the squad as well. Ronaldo coming out and saying, I'm not going anywhere. I think that's huge for us. He just needs to put a little signature on some paper. I've got us at third because I think there's games that we will drop like it's as annoying as it is. You go and lose to the Dolphins. Penrith and Melbourne don't lose those games.
We've never beaten the Dolphins.
We haven't. We're 0-2, and it's really, really annoying.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing me down.
I know. You lose an early game to the Tigers. Yeah. Penrith and Melbourne don't lose those games. So I think there's going to be a couple of games that we drop third. I thought last year third was our ceiling. Fourth was where we got.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, 100%.
Gave a better showing in the finals than the Roosters did, so technically finished third.
Yeah. Oh, I'll take that.
I think we finished third. I've laid out the path to get to the grand final. Yep. I think we get to the grand final. The experience is what's going to drive us. Our premiership window is open. Yep.
This is the most excited I've been for Sharks since 2018.
Yeah.
2016 I was excited. 2018 obviously coming off the premiership and then a little blip. 2018 I genuinely thought we could do something special. And I think we did. Made a prelim. Lost to Melbourne, but whatever. You take that. This year I feel like we got a squad that is big time improved on last year. And that's going to sound funny given we added 2 players. The one we added is the literal perfect one. You and I sat here 2 years ago and then I'm fins up and said, who's the one player you'd pick? And both of us said, well, it's Payne Haas or Fanil Blake. And then we laughed. Because both were under contract long term. Then when Fanil Blake came up, we said, if we get him, it's done. And then we were linked and it went away and we thought, we signed him.
Yep.
A perfect signing. Puru, great pickup, very good. Kailiro, I know I'm super biased, but he's just a different beast. Talakai was just too easy to get out wide. Iro's not. And he's just as bloody good in attack, I would say better. You've got 2 wingers that are both try-scoring freaks, and you've got a third one who could be better than the other 2. You need that third one to push the other 2. Because if they're having an off week, Hirotti's behind us, don't worry about it. Now you got this kid, Sam Stonestreet, who scored more than a try a game, who is a Cronulla junior, is a cult hero already down there, got 2 guys sitting on a couch, cheering his every move. Suddenly, if you Katoa or Ronaldo having a bad game, you're like, oh, this kid's coming. That pushes on.
Katoa drops a couple of bombs in Canberra.
It's very much on. Then you got a halves combo that used to be Nico and whoever. Now you got Trindle and Nico's playing second. That's brilliant. Blake Bradley's finally realised his potential.
Finally.
You got a forward pack that has a leader now. Actually, we haven't had a leader since Fafita retired.
Well, we had one in Dale Finucane. But just not the leader that we needed.
No,
he was the captain we needed. Yeah, you
need a pack leader, and we got a bloke that they can say, "Oi, you put us on the back, and we're coming with." Then you got young Jesse Colquhoun, who we know is going to be something special. You got Huge Tukes who's re-signed. All these blokes like Hamlin Ueli, he came out and said, "I want to play against Tigers because I want to one-on-one outdo Royce Hunt." A couple of years ago, Hamlin Ueli was our undisputed number 1. Now he's our 4th or 5th. He's got the potential to be the number 2 because he's not as good. No one's as good as Fanil Blake. That's another one pushing through. You got Cam McInnes.
But there's no reason that Fanil what's the name? Hamlin Ueli can't look at Fanil Blake and go, I can do that.
Yeah, well, he's almost the same size.
I'm the same height. I'm the same size. I've shown that I can push out big minutes. There's no reason why I can't do that.
Exactly. So we could have 2 Fanil Blakes. You got Oregon Kaufusi playing for a contract. You got Toby Rudolph, who copped a lot of slander, probably unfairly last year, wanted to come back. He's training the house down despite numerous injuries. You got Liam Ison, who's got Will Kennedy on toast, if you ask me. Kennedy's going to want it, and if he can't do it, Ison can. You got Vayela. You got all these kids. You got a New South Wales Cup. You got a New South Wales Cup team that won last year. You got a flag team that almost won, and you got these kids coming through. I watched SG Ball the other day, and our middle forwards are bigger than we are. And these are the under 12s. That's what it feels like. They've got the system now, and you've got a coach that has years of experience now. When he came, we said he's going to be good, but he's going to make some dumb decisions. He did. Last year, there was a little bit, but nowhere near the amount. He's got another year now. He's got a finals win. That's a huge duck to break because they went into those games saying, yeah, we can do this. But you're wondering if training like, can we? Can we beat Penrith? Whereas they went in and said, we can beat the Cowboys, and we did because we smashed them earlier in the year. That's off the back. Nico Hines has come out and said he's had the best off-season. They always do this. I'm this, I'm that, whatever. Prove it. What I want him to do is to get his phone and say social media deleted. Hey, Laurie Daly, I'm not playing for you. Bang. There's your best hope. When he's fully focused, he's good to go.
Yeah.
1 to 17, we got third best squad on paper. You can't convince me otherwise. If you want to throw Brisbane in there, 3.5, I'm okay with that. There's only 2 squads undoubtedly better.
I maintain that on paper we have a better squad than Melbourne. Melbourne just have that.
Melbourne and Penrith just get the kick because they're who they are. But this is a season to be excited, which as a Sharks fan scares me and I hate it. But you know what?
We'll probably come 10th.
Look, maybe. But there's only 5 teams I reckon that can win the premiership this year, and we're one of them.
I think it's 4.
4 and we're one of them.
Yep, 4 and we're 1.
How exciting. Trial this week. Check Fins up. We're going to do a full review, much to Terry's chagrin. It's going to be fun. My fins are up.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning into another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by the good people at Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe everywhere you can. We will be dropping a link to the Fins Up podcast underneath this show as well, so give that a listen.
Absolutely.
Get the Sharks in your ears, get Rugby League in your ears, get excited, it's back.
It's back. We've had a teamless Tuesday.
We have.
And now we're going to get some trial games. Only 2, but that's 2 more than we deserve.